with the 2nd anniversary stream, we got the reveal of 2 new units. And to be honest, they aren't what I was expecting. Personally, I am a little bit disappointed in the character choices, but hey, these new units are at least very flashy, they have cool artwork, and their animations look pretty sick. In this video specifically, I will be focusing on this new green Todo. My first impressions are from the info provided by the 2nd anniversary stream, and I will also be discussing how this unit may affect the game going forward. But with that being said, let's get into it. Yes, 2 videos in one day from me. Well, there's 2 new units, and as stated in the last video, rent money. As you can see here, I'm going to be talking about this new Todo as well, who was surprisingly enough green, which I think when these 2 units were shown off, we didn't expect him to be green because, well, granted, we didn't expect the new Yuji to be red because that is also a very weird choice, but hey, what can you do? Granted, he wasn't going to be red or blue because, you know, we've saw previously there is a red Todo and a blue Todo, both of which are mid or just straight up bad, but hopefully, with the introduction of this new green Todo, the red Todo will also get an SP buff to revitalize him. Because this green Todo meshes perfectly with green SP Yuji, like their kits blend well together really well, buffing black flashes with each other really strong. That red Yuji seems like he should also benefit from something similar from the red Todo, but as we all know, Red Todo is in like the bottom 5 worst units in the game right now, as I said in one of my previous videos. At the moment, Red Todo kind of sucks, so SP will hopefully make him 10 times better than he is, but we didn't get any information regarding the SP units this batch with this stream, unfortunately. But with that being said, let's talk about this new green Todo. And as I said before in my last video, focusing on the new red Yuji, I don't speak Japanese. I am a weeb, but I'm not that much of a weeb, so thank you again, Google Translate, as you can see on screen now. This unit seems very strange, but really, really cool. So he has the best friend status that the red Todo also has, but thankfully he also provides a lot more buffs, and he buffs crit rate, black flash rate, taijutsu, and overall he seems like he does much better support than red Todo, and also does much better damage. And his ult also strengthens his skills as well, and overall he just seems 10 times better than red Todo, and he's green, which means he's obviously meant to, you know, cooperate with the green SP Yuji, who's also an absolute demon. So this dude who's buffing taijutsu on top of like green Geto or Shoko, on top of Choso as well, an absolute diabolical team. You can run the 3 brothers on the same team. Think about that. Choso, Todo, and Yuji together is actually like going to be phenomenal, which is kind of cool and very fan servicey, but that's going to be a really cool combination to see. As you can see here, there's not much to really go on. The best friend status, which allows him to counter, and he can also black flash with his counters, I assume with the person behind him as well, so which will more than likely be green Yuji. He also buffs black flash rate and crit rate, which is perfect because, you know, more black flashes for green Yuji. His in the zone skill is absolutely filthy. I think it increases his damage and his black flash rate by a significant amount. Like, it's ridiculous and it's stupid. But yeah, green SP Yuji is also like one of the better damage dealers for green. With this dude on top of it increasing his taijutsu, it's going to be phenomenal. Obviously, there are other physical taijutsu damage dealers like green Maki, green Miwa, but due to their lack of, you know, black flashing, they're obviously not going to be optimal for this guy. Green Nanami might be a bit of a sleeper pick, because buffing his black flash rate on his skill 3 will probably be diabolical. Obviously, it might not mesh too well with his ult, but increasing crit rate on his ult might not be a bad shout. This unit overall is literally just, you know, it's a Todo, so it's obviously meant to mesh with the Yuji, and as a result, this dude with green Yuji is going to be absolutely filthy, and we can all see it now. So let's go to the gameplay. Also, really quick, I don't do CTAs, but I'm going to say this now really quickly in the video. If you want more videos, like, comment, subscribe, so I have a reason to keep making these videos and I can afford to keep making them. So yeah, if you want more videos, let me know. So yeah, CTA over. Boom. Also, I just do love like his little stance at the start, the little clap. Reminds me a little bit of Hakari's domain, but we won't be getting a Hakari unit for a while. So as you can see here, his ult as well also kind of changes the properties of his moves, similar to Zonji, like a lot of other units who change when they use their ult. Thank God his skill 3 is like a similar Boogie Woogie to Red Todo, except this time it's significantly cheaper. The fact that Boogie Woogie on Red Todo costs 30 and it's only like a 50% chance for disruption is disgusting. And his skill 2 is what provides the best friend status, but as you will see shortly, it also goes on a cooldown. It's not like one that you can keep spamming. It probably does special types of buffs. It's not just, you know, something you can spam over and over again, which is, you know, better because it means you have more curse energy to use on his other skills, which is cool. I mean, even the devs know Like, this is supposed to be used alongside Green Yuji. They know it, even though he's not SP'd in this gameplay. As you can tell from his skill 3 not being like the SP variant of his skill 3, as you can see there. When they do these, you know, showcases for the new units, they're never the optimal variants. They're never like max level, optimal runs, you know, there's only 2 units on screen, there's no Green Shoko, Choso, or Geto. They just kind of show the moveset a little bit and give you kind of a brief taste. They don't show you how great these units can be, so they can be kind of deceptive sometimes, because you might see lower damage numbers, so you might think them not too great. But trust me, this Todo is, as a Taijutsu support, is going to be absolutely filthy, and his animations are phenomenal. Nice little callback. See, breast friend status applied. If we look a bit closer, is that a special or is it just a normal? So as you can see there, that buffs, it buffs his crit rate and his taijutsu, as well as the best friend status, which, as we all know, allows him to counter, which we will see shortly. Boom. No black flashes on that is criminal, by the way. After using that skill 2, it gave him a free attack, and that attack gave a special type of taijutsu buff, which is very interesting. I think we'll need the details for that skill 2 more, because it seems to be a buff and an attack, which is very intriguing. There's the counter. The counter adds disruption. It also gives him a special taijutsu buff, buffs crit rate again, and buffs the person behind him crit rate, which is like, unlike the red Todo, there is a, like, him countering is more of a fun thing. This Todo with countering is huge. Like, it buffs everyone, which is great. Obviously, you can only do it once per turn, but still. And as you can see also at the bottom there, if you look at his stats, his crit enhancement is only 1, which means he can buff crit rate more and more and more and more. We can stack crit rate buffs, which is really cool. I mean, everyone can, but like his special type of crit rate buff. So he's used his skill 2, he's just gone for the skill 1, which is fine. Ooh. He just gets a free attack here, which is a black flash. What does that apply? It applies increased, like, I assume black flash rate, as well as black flash damage, taijutsu and taijutsu special, and gave him extra ult gauge. That came from him hitting his skill 1. So there's one thing I am very curious about. I'm not sure how it works. He just got like 2 extra turns from doing his skills. Maybe he just gets 2 extra attacks till he hits a black flash. Uses skill 3 for disruption. Finally, a boogie woogie that isn't 30 cursed energy. Gets the extra 1 at the end. It applies disruption, as you can tell from the icon, but it failed to apply disruption, which makes me think this skill 3 has a relatively lower chance to hit disruption. It's not like, you know, 100% chance like it is with Blue Todo with his skill 3 with Playful Cloud. You'll see it momentarily, but his co-op attack artwork is just peak. It is peak. Look at this. Obviously a reference to the Mahito fight, of course. These are Shibuya units, but ripped straight from the anime, and that gave him a taijutsu special damage up. If we pause it really quick, crit rate 3, by the way. Now he has like Takeda-chan's guidance. Like, it's the same icon as, you know, blue Takeda-chan's guidance. Taijutsu damage up there. And as you saw from the translation, when he does go into climax jumping, various skills are strengthened, which I assume that is like the name of his ult, you know, because that's the name of Takeda-chan's song, if you didn't know. I think it's playing in the background right now, but I'm playing it really quiet, so hopefully I don't get sued. That is, just look at that. He's doing the black flash stance with Takeda. Oh, that's so sick, and you know it. They really went much more fan servicey with this Todo. The Yuji is cool or whatever with the stances and stuff, but this Todo, his animations, there is so much more love for him. I don't know how else to describe it. Like, the red Yuji has, like, it looks like he has a couple of reused animations from Zonji and stuff, but this dude is just, everything about this unit is peak. I know a lot more people are probably going to be summoning for this Todo more than the Yuji, just because they like Todo more, and it feels like there's a lot more love put into him, which I think is completely fair enough. I think now they're just going to show off the second versions of the skills, which is post-ult. As you can see, his skill 1 and 2 have changed. I think his skill 3 might also be changed. So obviously this is what will apply the best friend status, and it also, you know, physical and crit rate up. It's just the different variants, since it's like after his ult. Does he just get that guaranteed after he does his skill 2? Like, once you launch his skill 2, it means he'll have extra actions for the next 2 turns, so he can hit a black flash. Counter attack, of course, which increases crit rate. That's fine. It's so goofy, but it's so lovable. There's a reason why everyone loves Todo. He's pretty sick. Also, crit rate buff, physical buff up again, but a special variant with more crit rate up. He just keeps jacking up his crit rate, which is very intriguing. Overall, as you could see, that unit is just kind of, in my opinion, the best of both worlds when it comes to red Todo and blue Todo. They fused them together, and red plus blue didn't make purple for some reason. It made this green beast. Green beast? Remember the green beast in Naruto? That was a random thing. Anyway, so he has the best friend status from red Todo. He counters, and when he counters, he increases crit rate which is great. I assume he can Black Flash on his counters too. He buffs himself. He gets extra actions that let him Black Flash, where it's like the animation where he's like air posing towards Mahito and kicks him in the face. He has the higher damage and the Takeda-chan stuff, like Takeda-chan's guidance, but this time it's climax jumping from Blue Todo. Like, this is what I'm saying. The best part about Red Todo was the best friend status, and it's the only really good thing from him besides his ult. Now, they've gave that to this guy on top of the better moves and the Takeda-chan's guidance sort of stuff from Blue Todo, and they've just meshed it together, put him on green, so that he meshes well with Yuji, because unfortunately, when Red Todo came out initially, he didn't really mesh well with Green Yuji, because there were separate typings, and the meta went for, monotypes. And then when Blue Todo came out, he was a damage dealer, so it didn't really fit well with Blue Yuji either. It was a bit of a shame. They didn't mesh well. But now finally, we have two Yuji and Todo combos that fit together a bit more. Obviously, this green Todo and the green Yuji fit better than the red Yuji and the red Todo, but as I say, I'm fairly confident they're going to get a huge SP buff for the old red Todo, sorry. Overall, there's not much to say. As I said previously, I think more people will summon for this guy just because aesthetically, he is much more pleasing. He is phenomenal. He has references to the black, like his face from the colored manga pages, and the Takeda-chan stuff is super corny and lovable, and the song playing in the background, and him kissing the necklace, and him posing for the buffs for best friend. He's a lot more lovable just as a character, to be honest, but especially as a unit here, I think a lot more people are going to summon for him, which is fine. I'm very excited. It's just he gets counter attacks when he applies best friend, and it looks like best friend lasts for, I assume, about 3 turns, but it has a cooldown of 3 turns after that. So you use it once, and there's like 1 turn where best friend isn't active, right? But when he has it active for the first 2 turns, he gets follow-up attacks, which were the combo one, and then the Black Flash pose one afterwards, right? Which is a great reference, right? Love that. That's absolutely impeccable. So he gets follow-ups, he gets counters, great damage, buffs physical skills and Black Flash rate. So he's just him and Green Yuji are gonna go on an absolute tear, and I think that's absolutely phenomenal. That's all there is to pretty much say at this point about this Green Todo until we get more information, but the first impression is he's gonna be really strong. Same with Red Yuji, but Red Yuji is more of a replacement to the older Red Yuji, while this guy is just phenomenal new pickup for Green. In conclusion, he's really cool. Cheers, my doodles. Hopefully I see you in the next one. Sorry, this was a yap session, but hey, rent money. Peace.